Now, what do you understand by the term malnutrition? Because most of the times we dictate terms to you people without having to care what is your view on health. So I'd like you to actually tell me, what do you think is malnutrition? Do you think obesity is malnutrition? Do you think being thin is malnutrition? Do you think malnutrition is because of poverty? What is your view about malnutrition, and what is malnutrition to begin with? Before you even think about it, allow me to tell you this. Anytime you hear the word malnutrition, everybody is quick to think about the emaciated people. That is not true. Emaciated people or thin people, the toffees, yes, they lie under the umbrella of malnutrition. However, it does not only mean that when you're thin, that's when you are malnutrition. That is undernutrition. Malnutrition basically means you have deficiencies or excesses or imbalances. Those are the only three words that actually define appropriately or adequately the term malnutrition. So you either have deficiencies, which means undernutrition, or you have excesses, which means overnutrition, and then you have imbalances. So either deficiencies, imbalances, or overnutrition, which is called excess nutrition. And this is in a person's intake of nutrients. When you talk about nutrients, what are nutrients? Because every time I tell people to drop ugali, to drop rice and wheat, they ask me, Daktari, and then what should we eat? And the answers are, of course, on this live. I want you to know this, that eating does not mean you're getting nutritional benefit from food. And this is what most people do. Most people mistake these things. Most people just eat to get full. And that's why you're always consuming carbohydrates, and that's why you're getting messed up. Your immune system is weak. You don't have any ability to heal your wounds. Okay, even your blood clotting, when you have these cuts or these wounds, you cannot experience blood clotting adequately. You have anemia. Okay, you have inability to fight common flus and very easy conditions. And then you are attacked. And then when you're attacked, you start blaming it on the foods that you ate. For example, people have very weak stomach acids, and they get prone to attack with typhoid, salmonella, which is the typhoid, of course. We have brucellosis, and we have this condition, even cholera, that attack a gut. So you suffer from these things not because the bacteria is attacking you, because it's because your weak immunity, which is the stomach acid, you've weakened it so much that you've exposed yourself to microorganism attack, and then now you blame the microorganisms. Just remember this: there is no way we can live without microorganisms. That is just not making sense. The world is designed to have all these microorganisms, and we operate very well with them. The only problem is when they overwhelm our immune system. That's when they start causing conditions. And the first layer of immunity, if you know, through your gut, has to be the strong hydrochloric acid in the stomach. So anytime you have a strong hydrochloric acid in the stomach, your chances of getting this typhoid, this brucellosis, and the cholera are very minimal. The other day, I saw our government pushing the cholera vaccine, and people are being vaccinated with cholera vaccine. And I'm looking at it, I'm wondering, why did we become so weak that we have to get a vaccine for every condition? I mean, cholera is all about fixing the gut, and it's all about hygiene or sanitation. So why did we become, or how did you end up becoming so weak that we have to receive a vaccine for a condition that can actually be fixed by just fixing hygiene and fixing sanitation? No member of county assembly, no member of parliament, no governor is concerned about fixing sanitation, the drainages, the sewage systems. No, none of our politicians is interested in fixing that, but they are so quick to take vaccines from outside the country to come and administer to our own people. That is so evil. So I really wonder why we do these things. And you see, the topic of malnutrition is actually a bigger topic, because I've seen schools getting the school feeding programs. But you look at the feeding programs, and these children are just eating crappy foods. There's no foods there. They're actually products. And there are these companies that have actually struck deals with governments and county governments to supply schools with these evil products. And when I tell you that schools and hospitals are feeding diseases, most of you start arguing. But the reality is, schools and hospitals are feeding diseases. It's true. Why am I saying that? Imagine our children in school, what do they eat? Apart from rice and beans, what else do they eat in school? What else do they eat in school? What else is supplied in schools if not cereals? What other food do you know? So these companies are striking deals with our county governments and our governments at large, the national governments, to actually supply products to our children. And our children are so excited that food is coming into these schools so that they can actually stay in school. Parents are excited that children now go to school and stay in school and study. But are we really giving nutrition to these children? No wonder our hospitals are filled with people who are so feeble, who are fat and obese, and they have very low immunity. Children being obese right now, and they are on insulin therapy because of malnutrition. So on one side, we have excesses, which is the over or excess nutrition. And then on the other hand, we have undernutrition. Now, what we know most and what we relate most to is the undernutrition because of the poverty levels in our countries. So even our mind cannot wrap around the fact that malnutrition is both on excess and on less, or limited, or deficiencies. So we always think that malnutrition is undernutrition. That is not right. So today, correct that. Because when you go for the undernutrition, that's a different story. That basically means you're not taking in enough calories, you're not taking in enough fat content, you're not taking in enough protein, you're not taking in even the carbohydrates that we demonize, you're not taking in optimum or adequate amounts. But I will tell you this for free and I'll keep repeating it. Carbohydrates are so useless. They are non-essential in our diets. And we can live a fulfilling life without having to consume any carbohydrates. But because of the addiction that comes with these carbohydrates, we cannot fathom the fact that we can live without eating carbohydrates. We are so addicted to them because of the sugars that come with them and the dopamine that we get, the feel-good effect that we get after eating them. We cannot even imagine our lives without carbohydrates. Imagine that. So we are constantly consuming carbohydrates, and that's why when somebody tells you to drop the carbohydrates, you're wondering, what should I eat? Because your plate is 90% carbohydrates. And most of you didn't even know larger percentage of fruits is carbohydrates, including the fiber in that fruit is carbohydrates. A larger percentage of vegetables is carbohydrates. So when you tell me, if I tell you to drop ugali, rice and chapati, you start telling me, Daktari, what should I eat? What will I eat then? I'm like, what are you saying? Because there's a lot of varieties of food in terms of animal proteins, in terms of legumes, in terms of vegetables. And guess what? The interesting part about this is that you can still get the carbohydrate content that you want from vegetables. Imagine that. The fiber that you get in vegetables. And as I'll be breaking down this malnutrition, I'll talk to you about this condition called SIBO, the small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. I'll tell you why, when you have SIBO, which most of us are suffering from, plus a leaky gut, taking in high fiber diet is a waste of your space. It is a waste of your space. So this is what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about undernutrition, I mean you have inadequate calories. You don't take in enough protein, you don't take in enough vitamins, you don't even have enough minerals. And look at it this way. Where are we getting this undernutrition from? And this is where the syllabus and where the government is actually trying to sugarcoat and hide. But you know, here we question the governments, here we question the county governments, here we question the syllabus. So where are we getting undernutrition from? Where do you think undernutrition is coming from? Because our children are actually suffering out here. We see children with pot bellies, yet they are very thin. Children with kwashiorkor, marasmus, mineral deficiencies, children given vitamin D supplements. Where are these things coming from? They are coming from a simple source, that we are unable to feed our children with food. We are unable to feed our elderly people with foods. We are constantly supplying them with supplements. We are constantly supplying them with products from industries. And that's why we need now to supplement them with those supplements from those companies that you know. So if you're eating real food, you will never see a reason why you should eat or why you should consume supplements. Why? Because supplements are actually classified as foods. And the reason why you're taking supplements is because you do not have enough nutrients from the products that you're eating from the company. And I've told you multiple times that food industries come here, they take raw materials from here. When they take those raw materials from here, what do? They go and process and ultra process them. They remove the fiber, they remove the minerals, the nutrients and the vitamins, and they leave the junk. And then they add in more sugar in form of high fructose corn syrup or high corn fructose syrup, which is supposed to actually keep you so addicted to that product. They add in MSG to mess up your taste buds so that you don't taste food in natural states. Okay? They add in a lot of chemicals, preservatives, and that's why those foodstuffs, those products can stay on shelves for the longest period of time without having to expire. Healthy foods, look at an avocado. If you simply cut it into a half and you expose it to air, in the next 20 minutes, if you leave it there, it's starting to turn black because healthy foods are supposed to go bad. If you milk a cow and then you leave that milk there for about 12 or 24 hours, that milk is starting to go sour. But look at the pasteurized milk in the supermarket, staying on the shelves for more than 12 months. You're wondering, how can milk stay on a shelf for more than 12 months without expiring, without going bad? Same to fruits. Fruits are now on the shelves for about 5 weeks, and you buy those tomatoes, you put them in the house, you buy those fruits in the house, put them in the house, they never attract flies, they don't have fiber, their seeds cannot even regrow. They are so appealing and juicy. But look at them sitting on that shelf in your house for 2 weeks. You've seen that? Those bananas. They stay there for 2 weeks and then you fold them, they fold like rubber. You're wondering, is this really a banana? And then we eat them and we say we have eaten vitamins. Which vitamins have you eaten in fruits that are totally absent in vegetables? It's crazy. So when you have all this undernutrition, when you have all these problems with nutrition, basically the undernutrition, you're not eating enough protein, you're not eating enough fats, you're not eating enough minerals and vitamins, what is going to happen is you're going to go into a state that is called the undernutrition. And now look at it this way: every mineral or every vitamin or every nutrient, whether macro or micro, has a deficiency condition, except carbohydrates. Just listen to that statement keenly, that every macro and micronutrient has a deficiency condition, which means if you don't eat protein, we have marasmus and kwashiorkor. If you don't eat fats, we have hormonal imbalances, nerve problems, brain fogging and loss of memory. We have stress levels going up, we have hypertension, we have high inflammation in the system because of the role that fats play in our system. We cannot even absorb the fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K. As if that is not enough, if you don't have vitamins, we talked about vitamins on this platform, and every single vitamin has a deficiency condition. From vitamin A, D, E, and K, all the way to the B vitamins, all of them, we mentioned them here, plus their deficiency condition, plus their sources. So if you don't have any of those, you will have a deficiency condition. However, if you don't have carbohydrates, if you don't eat a certain amount or even a daily requirement of carbohydrates, what is the nutrition deficiency for carbohydrates? So this is to the lovers of carbohydrates, the ugali, the chapati, the beans, and all those, even the sweet potatoes, plus all the complex carbohydrates that are considered healthy. What do you think will be the nutrition deficiency for not eating them?